Welcome back to Underdog Racing League. I am Chance Durheim, bringing you coverage from Chicagoland. Tonight we have the URL Throwback race presented by Wild Bill Soda and Justin Stenard. It'll be 120 laps around the 1.5 mile track with stages at lap 35 and lap 70. With that, let's take a look at our custom ink starting lineup and take a look at some of these great throwback paint schemes we got tonight. Not everybody running a throwback scheme, but as we go through these, I would like you guys to put your favorites in the chat. We're going to have a poll at the end of Stage 2 to crown the winner of Throwback Weekend, at least from a paint scheme perspective. This weekend, we're actually going to start from the rear of the field, starting with Justin Shank back in 30th. Justin is back here in the 71 Red Bull machine. Next to him will be the 13 of Matthew Young. He's not loaded in just yet, but he will start 29th. 28th is the 14 of Scott Kerberg, right ahead in the Minnesota United scheme. And then James Larrabee making his debut in the 09. Then we have Dakota Bly. He's one of the guys to watch out for his paint scheme. He will start 26th in the 58. Noah Tansman will start in the 66, next to Dakota in 25th position. 24th, we have the 11 of Stephen Horner. 23rd, we have Evan Logue in the 69. Then we have Cody Dorsey starting 22nd. He's in the 9 car. 21st, Derek Riley in the 17. Then we have Dylan Zampa also making his debut. He was very fast in practice. Got into the wall on his second qualifying lap. He'll start 20th. Then we have David Chapman Jr., looking like Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88. He'll start 19th. Then we have the 27 of Nick Gardner. He'll start 18th. 17th is the 72 of Kurt Cairns. Then Jason Bottom starts 16th in the number 5. 15th is Connor Baker in the 23. Marshall Wilson will start 14th in the 85. Scott Milner will start 13th in the 31. Then we have Dennis Steele. He will start 12th in the 28. Jake Williams will start 11th in the 29. And then we get to our top 10. Starting 10th, Dylan Walterman driving the 16 car. 9th will be Tom Lanier in the 22. 8th, Robert Clifford, number 99 car. 7th will be Chase Durheim in the 2. 6th is Justin Stenard in his home race, his sponsored race, in the 33. Then we have Christopher Height starting 5th in the 21. Tyler Merritt, last week's winner, will start 4th. Will Young will start 3rd, last week's second place finisher. Everything's all messed up here. Merritt is starting 2nd. Young is starting 3rd. Stenard is starting 4th. And Fensler starting 1st. I don't know where Jason Seams is. He's supposed to be starting on the pole, but he seems to have an EOL penalty, or maybe starting from the pits. I'm not sure, but he did not make it in time. So to move him back, move Jason Fensler up to the lead, and we're getting ready to go green. So we Fensler and Merritt starting side by side, with Will Young behind, Justin Stenard starting 4th, and away we go. Fensler gets a good start on the inside. He's going to slide up in front of Tyler Merritt. Will Young going to look to make a move for 2nd. Young and Merritt side by side. They're 3 wide behind. Stenard got out of shape. They're 3 wide. Stenard going to lose a couple spots. He's going to try to take that 33 car all the way up to the top. Nothing happening up there for him. They were side by side for 2nd. But Tyler Merritt got into the wall. Backed him off. Now it's Merritt and Durheim. They are battling for 4th position. So Jason Seams, he must have had a penalty from the previous week. Ended up having him start a little further in the field. Little contact there. They're going around. And there's the first caution on the track. Try to find who was caught up in that. Dylan Zampa. Oh, the number 90. of James Larrabee just drove in there with no regard for what was going on ahead of him. That car is destroyed, as well as the rear end of Zampa, most likely. Let's go back a lap and let's watch this thing unfold. So I believe it was up with the 22 of Tom Lanier. He might have been the first one to go around. Let's see what happened. All the way up to the chopper view. Stannard looking to make a move. Oh, he just got tagged from the outside by Chris Heights. And then he overcorrected, destroyed Dennis Steele. Evan Logue drove in there, got destroyed. Jason Seams barely avoided it. Let's rewind. Go look at that one more time. I think I want to look at Dylan Zampa here. Watch how this unfolds a little farther back. Let's go on board. He's running up top. He sees it. He thinks he's okay. Tries to get down. Just gets tagged. Sliding down the track. And he gets destroyed by the 90. So we'll go back a little further and watch from James Larrabee's point of view. He's back here riding around 23rd. Sees it happening in front of him. Yeah, I just don't understand that one. See, like right here, you just don't have to drive through it. You can take it easy. Just hit the brakes. You're not going to pass anyone during all of that. And then you end up with a wrecked race car. So, fortunate for him, unfortunate for Zampa. All those cars going down pit lane right now as we catch up live. Things did look all clean out front, though. Will Young going to come down pit road. I don't know if that's a fuel issue or what, because it's around 35 laps of fuel that these cars will have, and it is 35 laps to stage 1. So I mean, with the caution, you'd think it'd be fine, but Young going to come down, as well as Merritt, Walterman, Milner. Quite a few guys coming down pit road this time. Very interesting. With all the caution laps and stuff, there's no way for me to tell what these guys' fuel is at. Also, if I knew exactly, that'd be pretty unfair for me to share that, since some of the drivers watch, but Will Young, Dylan Walterman, a couple guys coming down pit road early. So that'll keep Jason Fensler in the lead. Chase Durheim will be second. Then Robert Clifford will be up to third. If you've been watching URL for a while, I think it's no surprise to see these two up here. Remember, put in the chat which driver you think has the best throwback scheme. I'll go through right now, take a look at about as many as I can right here. Here's Chase Durheim. We've seen the AC Delco one right there. And then Justin Stannard, he's got the Oreo throwback. I think we have to go back to David Chapman. He's running in the Dash for Cash tonight. I should mention, as I go through this, I better pull up the Dash for Cash guys tonight. It is David Chapman, Jake Williams, Scott Milner, Kurt Cairns. These guys are all racing for a little extra money at the end of the night. See the 9. Cody Dorsey has a throwback there. The 17 on the outside. Derek Riley. The Bell South one from Matthew Young. I like that scheme. 23, Tractor Supply Co. Dylan Walterman, who came down pit road. He's got an Exide paint scheme. And then we'll go back. Jason Bottoms, I know, has one. Dakota Bly in the 58, I know, has one. 66, Tansman has one. A lot of guys have real good paint schemes tonight. But let's get back up front. We're getting ready to go green again from Chicagoland. It'll be Jason Fensler again on the inside. Chase Durheim, new driver, on the outside. Justin Stannard is still fourth. Robert Clifford is up to third. Here we go. It's a great jump for Jason Fensler. It's going to be side by side for second. Robert Clifford to the inside. He's going to get that move done pretty easily. Jay Sturheim back to third. There's a 90 of Larrabee just coming out of the pits. Looks like Clifford is all but away there in second. And these guys are going to have to manage their tires as well as their early run pace here, because his tires do fall off pretty quickly, but if you can manage it early in the run, shouldn't hurt you too bad. See a couple guys 3 wide back there. A lot of action at the back of this pack. Matthew Young side by side with Marshall Wilson. Cody Dorsey, David Chapman. They're side by side. Here comes Jake Williams. He's another one of those Dash for Cash drivers. These guys are both running behind Kurt Cairns, though. He is the leader in the Dash for Cash right now, up there in 7th. So the way it works is if you run a race, you get an entry, we spin a wheel, and if you are one of the 4 drivers selected, you are racing for a chance to make it to the final Dash for Cash round in the finale. And just to get some extra money, either put it in your pocket now or save it, add it to the pot at the end. So Jason Bottom's a little loose up top, ripping the fence. Let's move up to Kurt Cairns, Jason Seams. This is the battle for 7th. Tyler Merritt, he's one of those drivers that came down pit road. He's looking to make some moves up there as well. James Larrabee still riding around on the apron. I'm not sure why. Seems away from Cairns. No, looks like he got real tight on exit there. He's going to surrender the spot to Cairns and Tyler Merritt. Let's go on board with last week's winner, Tyler Merritt, for a few laps here. The only place we saw him last week was first, pretty much, so see how he can manage being in the dirty air for his first time in this league. We are 13 laps into Stage 1 presented by R4 Environmental. Also, the R4 Environmental Dash for Cash is what's going on tonight. And we're kind of getting to the point right now where we're learning what these guys have on the long run and how they're going to be able to handle going just more than a few laps. Christopher Heights under attack from Nick Gardner in the 27. Heights Gardner side by side. Merritt's taking it all the way up top in the 38. Took it a little too high. Now he's side by side with with Kurt Cairns. And Heights is trying to get by Nick Gardner. There's a very big bump here in turn 3. It's mostly on the top though, so if you're running the bottom, it's not really going to affect you, but those drivers running the top, it's not the best in 3 and 4 just because of that. These guys still side by side. Nothing changed out front. It's still all Jason Fensler, Robert Clifford, and Chase Sturheim, your top 3. Justin Stannard is the other car within a second. Hold on, Nick Gardner, hard into the wall. Jake Williams gets into Gardner. We stay green though, and now the caution is out. Let's go check on Jake Williams. He's all the way around. Cody Dorsey as well. Jake just couldn't get checked up in time. Let's go take a look at what happened. So go with Nick Gardner here. He's all good through 1 and 2, it looked like. Maybe he had heights to his outside. And once we get to 3 and 4, that's when the chaos ensues. So everybody gets lined up here. Then he just gets tagged by Christopher Heights. That's what it was. Tyler Merritt. Kurt Cairns got a little bit of damage. And then Jake Williams didn't have anywhere to go. He's holding the brake. Just hits the 23, 22, and 9. That's Baker, Lanier, and Dorsey. All of them are around. See if they collected anybody else. Looks like the 22 was okay. 23 was okay. Scott Milner looks like he got involved. Let's back it up just a little bit. We'll go all the way up top to the blimp cam again. We'll go to the chopper. It's a little more zoomed out. These guys are all checking up. Just couldn't do it in time. Let's see how the 31 got involved. I don't really know. But we'll go catch up live now, as we may have some pit stops. Front 3 all stay out. Christopher Heights, he will be the first one to come down pit road. Tyler Merritt as well. He's got a little bit of damage. Kurt Cairns. Pretty big incident early on lap 17 of this race. So that puts already drivers from 23rd to 30th at least 1 lap down. Connor Baker looks like he may be out of this race. He is towing for now. But yeah, just Heights went in a little too deep. Wasn't expecting the checkup from Gardner there. Got into the back of him. He hit the 2 running on the inside, and then Jake Williams had nowhere to go behind that. Just kind of a chain reaction. There was a wreck for people in every part of the field right there. Kind of those guys battling in the top 5, and then it went all the way back through. So a lot of time on pit road for these guys. I'm not sure why Stenard is holding here. Maybe he's got some damage, but yeah, not great for quite a few drivers right there. We'll use this Mission 22 caution to take a break and hear from our sponsors, Wild Bill Soda.
You're looking mighty thirsty. Wild Bill's pure cane sugar, old-fashioned sodas.
Thank you, Wild Bills, for being the presenting sponsor of this series, and thank you to Justin Stenard for being the sponsor of this race. So it'll be Fensler in the 15, Clifford in the 99. 2 non-throwback cars on Throwback Weekend. I suppose it's not weekend, it is quite literally the middle of the week, but you know what I mean. Chase Durham first throwback car. Dylan Walterman second. And Matthew Young should be the third one. I don't know if Marshall Wilson's is a throwback or not. I think that's what he's been running all year in the 85 down there in that Valvoline scheme, but I'm not sure. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. But we got the 15. Fensler ready to, never mind, not lead us to green. Everybody was side by side like we were getting ready to go, but looks like we added another lap for some reason. I don't see anybody slow on track or anything, so I'm really not sure why. Justin Stenard still on pit road. I don't know what the reason for that is. Yeah, I'm checking chats and things like that, but don't see anything on the 33. He may have had to go up and do some admin work, but I'm not sure. Anyway, Stenard on pit road as we get ready to go green again. Lights are off on the pace car this time, so We should be going green this time by. So Jason Seams, your pole sitter, finally has some track position. He's up here to 4th. Dylan Zampa, fast in practice, hit the wall in qualifying. So he's finally got some track position. Should be a very good restart here. The pace car does make that left-hand turn. Let's go on board with Dylan Zampa for this restart. We are green. So the front three get away pretty well there, so we're going to abandon the onboard, but we'll look back from Dylan Zampa. Chase Durheim, Robert Clifford side by side for second. Durheim pulls ahead on the middle of the corner and will hold him off on exit. Does Clifford have enough of a run to get him back? These guys are racing to lap 35. Lap 35 is the stage. Both these guys trying to chase down Jason Fensler, who's led every lap of this race so far. Durheim gaining ever so slightly on Jason Fensler through 3 and 4 there. And watch Dylan Zampa. He's looking to make a move in 4th. We'll go to our drone cam as we look through this foggy Chicagoland night. That last lap, Durheim was faster, but looks like through this lap, he has fallen off. Dylan Zampa just ran his fastest lap of the race, back there in 4th. Watch Jason Seams and Dylan Walterman. They're battling it out, back there in 6th. Walterman got by there. Jason Bottoms looking to maybe make it 3 wide. He will pass for now. Little bump from Jason Seams on Dylan Walterman. Great job by Dylan corralling that race car. Not causing a wreck. Everybody driving on edge. Merritt, side by side. Scott Milner went through the grass there. Looks like he corralled it. Comes up the track a little bit, but everybody stays okay. No caution. Walterman and Merritt side by side now. This is the battle for 6th. Jason Bottoms has been taking little peeks at making it 3 wide every time, but hasn't done it just yet, and it looks like that's the right move. He gets by Walterman. Now going to work on Tyler Merritt. Now Merritt and Will Young are battling. Drivers who finished 1st and 2nd last week, teammates. Here they go side by side. And Merritt has got him cleared. Here comes Jason Bottoms now. He's going to fly right on by Will Young. And these two are just making quick work of the field. Both of them pitted lap 18. I don't have information on whether they took tires, but with the way they're driving right now and looking at their lap times, it looks like they certainly did. 30.8 for the both of them last lap. The leader was at a 31.2. So we'll see if these guys can get there before we get to lap 35 and get that all-important stage win. Some other guys on presumably fresh tires. Derek Riley, Kurt Cairns, Scott Milner maybe. I know all those guys pitted on that last caution. I don't know if they took tires, though. Merritt all over the back of Dylan Zampa. Now he goes to the inside and turns 3 and 4. And he's got that thing working right now as we come to lap 29. Let's go on board. Actually, let's not. They were almost 3 wide behind him. Zampa got a little loose. Now he's trying to fight Robert Clifford and gain a spot. Watch out for Jason Bottoms. He's going to make it 3 wide on the inside. 5:1:99, 3 wide for 4th position, and Jason Bottoms moves up another one. Back up to Tyler Merritt, though. We're on lap 30. He's got 6 laps to do it to get by Chase Durheim and Jason Fensler. Side by side now with Durheim, and there he goes right on by. Those fresh tires are working for the driver of the 38. But he's going to have to pay the price for taking these tires now at some point in this race. So we'll see if it ends up hurting him late in the going here. But as of right now, he is reaping all the rewards. Side by side for the lead. Can Fensler hold him off? I'm not sure he can. Gonna go into turn 3 here. And it looks like Tyler Merritt is just about clear. Now he is for sure. 38 car to the lead. Let's watch Jason Bottoms too. He is also on the climb. Also on those fresher tires. He is all over the back of Jason Fensler. Jason versus Jason in the battle for second. Bottom's going to make a move to the outside this time. Fensler holds him off for now. And the longer they go, the more those tires are going to start to equal out. So Fensler can just hold him off for a couple more laps. He will hold second place in the stage. Bottom's trying to go to the outside. Chase Durheim, he's going to look for somewhere to go. Bottoms is giving it all he's got on the outside line. Just doesn't have enough right now. They stay side by side. 2 to go in the stage. Here's Chase Durheim. Where's he going to go? This battle for second is incredible right now. Durheim now to the outside of Jason Fensler. Bottoms is clear into second. Now Durheim and Fensler side by side. Can Durheim make the move as we come to the white flag in stage 1? Zampa and Clifford, they're side by side just behind this. Looks like Chase is clear for now, and he will be clear off the corner. But it's going to be Tyler Merritt coming through 3 and 4 for the last time, using some strategy, taking tires. Going to go from the middle of the pack up to first and win stage 1, followed by Jason Bottoms on that same strategy. And then it's Chase Durheim, Jason Fensler, Robert Clifford, Derek Riley, Dylan Zampa, Kurt Cairns, Nick Gardner, and Scott Milner rounding out your top 10 of R4 Environmental Stage 1. Again, that does bring us under another Mission 22 caution, as Jason Bottoms just disappeared for a second there, but he's all back. We'll go take a look at Tyler Merritt, your Stage 1 winner, looking to stay hot from last week. So I believe last week was his second ever URL race. And then, I thought it was his first, but he'd run one at a different point, and then last week came into Richmond and put on a show, just dominated that race from start to finish. And he ended up picking his first ever URL win up at Richmond. He didn't seem like he had the same pace as last week. He started 4th and was pretty good in practice, but wasn't as dominant as last week. So we'll see what happens here. If he decides to stay out, no, he'll come right down pit road and bring everybody right along with him. So we'll watch the race off pit road here. Jason Fensler has that first pit stall. See if he can make it work. He had a great entry right there. Carried speed all the way up into the break there. We'll see. Here comes Jason Bottoms. Tyler Merritt is out. It looks like everybody should stay right about the same place. Scott Milner picks up quite a few positions right there, though. And here comes everybody off pit road. So we have Merritt, Bottoms, Durheim, Fensler, Clifford. Or Durheim, Fensler, Milner, your top 5 off pit road. So that leaves us right now, I believe, 23 cars on the lead lap. 24th to 30th, all at least one lap down, with Connor Baker and Jake Williams both out of the race. If you saw Jake Williams' incident earlier, he did post in the chat his telemetry. Held the brake as much as he could there. But, yeah. Unfortunate for him. He out of the race, as well as Connor Baker. Stephen Horner is not on the lead lap there. He's going to take the wave around here. He'll go from 12 to 11 laps down. He must have got caught up in one of those early incidents as well. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm excited for this year in URL. We have some great drivers. I mean, Tyler Merritt, Chase Durheim, Jason Bottoms was in the championship for last year, Jason Fensler, Robert Clifford has been good so far. Dylan Zampa has looked good in his debut. I mean, Jason Seams has run up here. Dylan Walterman, last year's champion. There's just so many good drivers that I think all these races are going to be compelling. And I don't think we're going to have a real dominant season from any one driver this year. I think if anybody, you have to look at Tyler Merritt, obviously, last week's winner, but we had Corey Blevins last year. We've had Jason Fensler in years prior. Just be dominant forces that they kind of have to make a mistake for them to lose. But I don't think that's the case this year. We got great drivers all around. I think they're going to all put it on display, and we're going to have some great races. But if you have noticed, it's got a little dark here at Chicagoland. Fog's still there, but we go up to the blimp high above Chicagoland Speedway, and you will see heavy, heavy darkness approaching the Speedway. So we'll see if that helps any of these drivers out. Anybody who likes driving on these cooler nights rather than the hot, slick type of racetrack, it should favor them. I was hearing it was tight already, so I guess we'll kind of see what this does to everybody's car, if it makes it easier to drive or harder. And more importantly, kind of see who's well adjusted for it. But getting ready to begin. Washam's on the fence, stage 2. Tyler Merritt, Jason Bottoms on the front row. Green flag is out. And it's a great jump for Tyler Merritt. Chase Durheim as well. Not a good jump on the outside for Jason Bottoms. Fensler's going to look to the inside. That's going to be a couple positions maybe lost. Maybe not. It looks like the 99 was around. Spins all the way around, but it doesn't look like anybody else was involved. Let's go take a look at what happened. These guys are on very cold tires when they come out of pit road. Let's see if he had contact or if he just kind of went around. Ooh, Scott Milner got below, but no, that didn't have anything to do with it. Clifford just spun that thing right around, and luckily for everybody else, didn't involve anybody else. So with that caution, driver should be able to make it to the end of the stage here. Excuse me. I wouldn't anticipate anybody coming down for fuel anyway. But Clifford goes around, and we have our 4th Mission 22 caution of the night. Tyler Merritt still leads, and it'll be Chase Durham on the outside once we get ready to go again. To give the free pass to Evan Logue, he was 1 lap down, and with this, he should move right back onto the lead lap, I do believe. Dennis Steele, very good driver. Right now trapped 2 laps down, so I think that caution helped him out a lot. He's a championship 4 driver last year, and I believe he got caught up in it's either the first or the second incident of the night. And there was just contact under caution. What just happened there? Let's rewind. So it looks like it's the 90 of Larrabee. He just runs into the back of the 69. Why? I mean, I don't know. I see new guys in the league, and I want them to do well. I want them to succeed so we can add new members to this great family we got. But I mean, James Larrabee has been out of control tonight. First caution of the night, he just doesn't hold his brake, just destroys the one of Dylan Zampa for no reason, and then under caution, he just runs over Evan Logue, who was supposed to get the free pass. I'm not sure he will now. Go back live, and I guess we'll stay back here in case anything else happens. So this time we should be 1 lap to go. No, not yet. 2 laps till we go green then, and then we will get ready for the green flag. Checking the pit stops, it looks like Bly, Kerberg. And no, it looks like that. Or no, they pitted on lap 39. Lap 43. It's just Dennis Steele and Robert Clifford, the only guys to come down pit road. So everybody else stays out. And that is what I expected. They should be able to make it to the end of the stage here on fuel. So no reason to really bring them down. But it got dark kind of in a hurry here. And I wonder if maybe the darkness kind of caught Clifford off guard. That's why he was so loose, but I'm really not sure. One thing I do want to do is kind of turn up the brightness. I think it looks a little dark on the broadcast for you guys, so we'll see if that's any better. Yeah, I think that's a lot better. Also, sound okay, everybody? Anything like that messed up? I can't hear it myself, so I do want to check with you guys, make sure. But it'll be Merritt, and this time Chase Durham on the outside. And then Jason Fensler, Jason Bottoms, all Jasons in row 2. Then Dylan Zampa, Derek Riley, row 3. And I really wasn't expecting as many cautions as we've got so far, so very interesting that we have had, I believe, 5 Mission 22 cautions so far in just 45 laps, so 30 car field, it makes sense, but and again, I was hearing a lot of complaints about tightness, cars being too tight in practice, so seeing them now kind of lose it is a little surprising to me, but here we are, ready for the green flag once again. Merritt and Durham. Green flag is out. Checkups all the way back in the field there. Looks like some damage for Dennis Steele. He may be okay, though. So we move back to the front of the field. Jason Fensler is going to look to make a move to the inside of Tyler Merritt. Here we go. Fensler low, Merritt high. And Jason Fensler just about clears him. Merritt going to look to cross him over. Side by side for a second there. Chase Sturheim nowhere to go. Just got in the back of Tyler Merritt. Will Young looking to make a move outside Dylan Zampa. That move will not be available. Now it's Merritt and Durheim battling for second. Chase is all over Tyler. Now he goes to the inside, side by side for second. Watch for Dylan Zampa, the third car as well. Who's he going to go with? Durheim clears Merritt. Zampa took a peek to the inside of Durheim. Didn't look to make the move. But now Tyler Merritt back to fourth position. Remember, he does have that stage win, so that does help him out in the point standings at the end of this thing. But Jason Fensler is running away right now. Merritt, Zampa. Going at it again. Merritt in the wall a little bit, as well as Will Young. Didn't look like it really slowed him down much, so could be just purely cosmetic. But look at these front four right now. Will Young in a battle with Jason Bottoms. This is for fifth position. Second, third, and fourth place cars were all faster than the leader that last lap. So we'll see if they can gain any ground. Will Young working the middle line. Bottoms just about gets up into Will Young there. He corrals that number 5 NOS Energy machine and gets a little help from Nick Gardner to stay out in front. Will Young trying to rip the fence. Got into the fence a little bit. He's going to surrender a position to Bottoms, Gardner, Riley. All will go by the 68 machine. Nothing changed out front, but now it's Bottoms and Nick Gardner in the battle for fifth. There's been great racing all over this great racetrack, and it is not stopping now. Derek Riley, Will Young, still going at it. Now it might be Dylan Walterman and Derek Riley, 16 and 17. Walterman just ripping it up top. Try to carry as much speed as he can through that corner. And he's going to stay up top as Riley cuts the course a little bit through the tri-oval. And there Walterman goes up into 8th position. Still nobody able to go get out there and chase down Jason Fensler. But Nick Gardner is in a little bit of a battle right now with Jason Bottoms. Let's go a little farther back, see if we can find some action. Here is Scott Milner, David Chapman Jr. These two are in a battle for the Dash for Cash tonight. Jake Williams, he's one of the drivers. He's out of the race already. But it's these two right here. Excuse me, it's a 31 and 88. Not Marshall Wilson. And then it is the 72 of Kurt Cairns, just ahead of these guys. Battling further ahead. It's these two again, Gardner and Bottoms. Gardner trying to take it down low. Looks like he just doesn't have enough right now. And there. Actually, I lied. It looks like Bottoms might have got a little tight on exit there, and he completed that pass. So now Nick Gardner up into 5th. Will Young trying to get by Jason Bottoms for 6th. Young all over the rear bumper of the 5. Maybe got into him a little bit on entry, but Walterman's going to go low. Young's going to go high. And they're 3 wide as we cross the start-finish line. Young is going to drop out of it. Just try to get a run on both these guys running side by side. Walterman inside, Bottoms on the high line. And Jason is going to clear Dylan Walterman, and Will Young's going to follow him on through. Little Coca-Cola Wild Bill soda throwback for Will Young there. Great paint scheme. All these guys got great throwbacks right here. 17 and the 5. They're side by side. And Jason Bottoms lost quite a few positions right there. That's the 17 and the 16. Derek Riley backed out of that move just a little bit there. Didn't think he could make it. Now he'll look into turns 3 and 4. So remember, lap 70 is the stage break on lap 59 right now. So these guys just trying to run it to the stage and collect as many points as they can. Go a little farther back to Matthew Young, Jason Seams, Kurt Cairns, David Chapman, Robert Clifford, a ton of cars back here. This is all the battle for 11th. Seams and Cairns looking to get away right now, but everybody else I don't think is going to be able to. Matthew Young trying to rip the outside. This is the outside of David Chapman right now. Where's Robert Clifford going to go? Matthew Young trying to get 13th spot away from David Chapman. But Chapman has a great run on the inside. They'll be side by side as we cross the start-finish line as we get halfway through tonight's throwback race at Chicagoland. Looks like Young drives it harder into the corner, but kind of during the middle and exit, that's where David Chapman shines. Which is interesting because he's running the bottom. You would expect that usually from the guy up top. But here goes Robert Clifford trying to get by Matthew Young. Ooh, Marshall Wilson into the wall. He corrals it though. Might have a little bit of damage. Hopefully he didn't knock the toe out of the car there. Now Clifford to the inside. Right alongside Matthew Young for 14th. Remember, Clifford brought out our last caution right on the restart at the end of, or at the start of stage 2 there. A couple cars in the wall, Cairns and Chapman. And don't look now. David Chapman just got by Curtis Cairns for the dash for cash position. Little battle for second going on up here. Chase Durheim, Dylan Zampa. Driver of the 1 and the 2. Zampa making his first appearance in URL. Durheim, he is making his, I don't know, he's been in here a long time. Let's just say that. These two right alongside each other. Both these guys giving a little bit more of a gap to to Jason Fensler out in the lead. But, oh, it doesn't look like Zampa's clear. Chase is going to be able to side draft and get back even with the 1 here. So lap 65 out of 70 in this stage. Chase trying to take it to the wall. He took it into the wall there. Just sent it a little too hard. And that's going to give Dylan Zampa second position. Let's go back and try to find some more action. Looks like it's still with Matthew Young in the 13. Looks like Curtis Cairns has had something go wrong in the 72 car there. He was all the way up inside the top 10 pretty comfortably, and ever since then, he has just been falling back and falling back. Battle for 6th, Walterman, Young, Riley. Coming to 4 laps to go in Washam's on the fence, stage 2. Car on the wall, 16 of Walterman. Here goes Will Young. Looks like he has him clear, and that will be a spot. An update on Justin Stannard. He is, in fact, taking race control duties. Thomas Stanley had some issues arise, and shout out to Justin for doing that, being it is his home race and one that he cares about very much. So, big thanks to Justin for that. Will Young going to move right on up into 7th. Christopher Heights got around Derek Riley. We'll see if he can work on Dylan Walterman now. These are all points at the end of the day. And here comes Christopher Heights. His car has sprung to life late in this run. One of the fastest cars on the racetrack. So keep in mind, as we get into stage 3, the speed of that 21 car in the long run. That is impressive so far. Heights trying to clear Walterman in the 16. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. Side by side down the back. Tyler Merritt is going through the grass. I'm going to rewind here because something is wrong with the 38. He just took off and disappeared. I think something happened to his computer, I would guess. And that's going to likely, if not end his race, it is going to impact it quite heavily, obviously. So that's very big, but we are on the last lap of Washam's on the fence stage 2. It's all Jason Fensler out front. We keep our eyes on this battle back here for 6th, though. So Jason Fensler is your stage 2 winner. Dylan Zampa 2nd, Chase Durheim 3rd, but it's side by side for 6th. And Dylan Walterman got it. Now that should be the stage. I'm not sure why it's not. I guess we're going one more lap. There's a caution. Okay. I don't know if Justin up in race control just forgot or what, but that is officially the stage break. And it will be Jason Fensler collecting a stage victory. I believe it's his first of the season. So it'll be Fensler, Zampa, Durheim, your top 3. Gardner, Young, Walterman, Heights, Riley, Seams, and Robert Clifford rebounds to get a stage point at the end there. Boys should have pit stops here. What just happened to Christopher Heights now? I don't know what's going on with these drivers. They are all over the place. Tyler Merritt still not back in. He is connected. So he's going to be at least 1 lap down, likely 2, maybe 3. And then we'll kind of see from there. Assuming just disconnected from the race. Had something go wrong. I know people kind of don't like that usually in these simulations. Like, oh, you can just have something like that ruin your day. But I kind of equate it to real life. You blow a tire, blow an engine, something like that. Can happen in real life. It can happen in the simulation in that sort of way. So that would be why Tyler Merritt had to step out, and I like to just pretend it's blown engine or something like that. But Jason Fensler will lead the race off pit road, followed by Zampa, Young, Walterman, Gardner. What happened to Chase Durheim? He fell all the way behind Nick Gardner. They don't know what caused that, but yeah, he does lose quite a few spots there. Going to be back probably 6th or 7th when we get restarted. So we'll take this stage 2, now stage 3 caution, Mission 22 caution, and hear from Wild Bill Soda for the second time tonight.
You're looking mighty thirsty. Wild Bill's pure cane sugar, old-fashioned sodas.
Thank you, Wild Bills, Justin Stenard, for sponsoring this race. And yeah, Chase Durheim all the way back to 6th. Outside row 3. Nick Gardner moves up. Will Young moves up. Dylan Walterman moves up. Let's take a look at our biggest movers of the race so far. First is Dylan Zampa. He's running second, up 18 spots in that second position. Then Nick Gardner. He is up 13 in 5th. Derek Riley up 14. Back in 7th. And then Matthew Young. Back in 14th, but he's up 15 spots from where he started this thing. So it'll be Fensler to get us started here again. Zemp on the outside. Young, Walterman, Gardner, Durheim, Riley, Bottoms, Clifford, and Seams round out your top 10. So we get ready to go racing. Never mind. They just brought the caution lights back on. I'm not sure why again. I don't know if people aren't lined up or what it is, but yeah, for some reason we are having these extended cautions. So James Larrabee, we saw his incident under caution. He has been officially DQ'd from this race. Noah Tansman is out, Connor Baker is out, and Jake Williams is out. So 4 drivers out of this thing. Justin Stenard taking up race control. So very appreciative of him for doing that. Tom Lanier, Stephen Horner, 12 and 13 laps down respectively. Dennis Steele, 2 down. Tyler Merritt, driver who's been in the top 5 a lot of this race, 3 laps down. Justin Shank, 3 laps down as well in the 71. But we are getting ready to go green again. Hopefully, we get the green flag this time. So we'll go from the starter view this time around. And the drivers are away as we begin National Coatings and Supplies Stage 3. Everybody fighting for position here. Side by side for the race lead. As there goes Dylan Zampa. He will take it, but there's a caution on the track. It looks like it's the 31 of Scott Milner, Dash for Cash driver. Spun around. So go watch this whole restart over again and take a look at what happened to Scott Milner. It's all good through 1 and 2 like we've seen many times. Most of the incidents tonight have been in turns 3 and 4, so I don't know if... I know there's the bump on the high line that makes it a little more treacherous. We'll see if that's what got him out right here. There's the bumps. Yeah, it looked like just disrupted him a little bit. What a move by Scott Kerberg. Just avoided it, and the caution came out. Let's go on board with the 14 machine. So he just barely sees Scott Milner on his outside and just checks up, and as cool as you like from the driver of the 14 there. No issues at all. But let's go back and watch that restart one more time. So Zampa and Young side by side for second. And as we go along here, Dylan Zampa ends up the race leader. So see what happened to Jason Fensler out there in the lead. It's like he just, ooh, what a save from Jason Fensler. Just about lost it off turn 4. And everybody else just scampered on around him, and Fensler officially is P3. We'll catch up live. A couple drivers came down pit road, it looks like there. David Chapman Jr., Marshall Wilson, Scott Milner, Dakota Bly, and Evan Logue. They all came down trying to maybe stretch this thing on fuel. I mean, I heard 35 laps for the amount of fuel these cars got, but, you know, I think you can make it work if we get maybe a caution or two. If we get another early caution, I think for sure they should come back down, and I think everybody may do that, but I don't know. If you're running back there, I don't hate the strategy. Come down. See if you can maybe top off. A couple more guys came down this time. Chris Heitz, Jason Seams. Then the aforementioned Milner, Wilson, and Bly. So those guys will be people to watch out for. I always mention Dakota Bly when this kind of thing happens. We get in these fuel mileage type races. Always the guy I look for. And I do want to bring out a poll to crown our throwback race winner in terms of their paint schemes, but you guys haven't had any suggestions. I'd say the 58, 13. I love Walterman's car as well. Will Young's, I know he made that one himself, so I want to give that one credit too. That's a good scheme. I'm a Dale Jr. fan, so David Chapman, that one's going to get a shout out. I don't know, I think there's some very, very good looking race cars tonight. Bly coming down to top off. That's what I was talking about. Watch out for him. Who should go green this time, though, and it'll be Dylan Zampa, your new race leader, followed by followed by Jason Fensler. Young will be to his outside. Gardner 4th, Walterman 5th, Durheim 6th, Riley 7th, Clifford 8th, Bottoms 9th, and Cody Orsi rounds off the top 10. You always see this from Cody Orsi. Runs probably 15th to 20th most of the start of the race, and then towards the end, he gets that car figured out. Ends up right around the back end of the top 10. Little checkup on the inside line there. I believe that was Marshall Wilson had to take some evasive action. He got it done, though. But ready to continue National Coatings and Supplies, Stage 3. Here we go. It's Zampa and Young leading us back to green. And we'll see if that outside line can get a jump this time. It really hasn't been able to all night. And Young did a pretty good job this time. Probably the best one we've seen. Zampa still gets clear, but Young has a shot going into turn 1. Pretty much everybody in the outside trying to move down. They get there, and Zampa still leads. Coming into turn 3. Will Young make a move? Ooh, Walterman hard into the wall on the outside. Nick Gardner going to come through. Chase Durheim going to come through. It'll be Walterman and Durheim side by side. Walterman going to hold off the charge of Chase Durheim and Nick Gardner. What a move to the outside. Fensler trying to make a move. Caution is out. Oh, we mentioned Cody Dorsey. He's involved. Matthew Young. Stephen Horner's all clean. Yeah, it looks like it's just these three. Wilson, Dorsey, and Matthew Young. Let's take a look at what happened. So here's Young side by side with Derek Riley. Looked like he was the first guy to have issues. Yeah, just, got loose, overcorrected, and, Jason Seams heavy damage. That's big. Doesn't look like anybody else back here was collected. But, yeah. Big damage for the 13, 9, 85, and 81. And, yeah, that's going to be a tow for Matthew Young. The beautiful Bell South paint scheme is going to be parked for at least a few laps there. Who's going to come down pit road? Will Young will. Zampa and Fensler stay out, though. Now, I believe you can make it to the end if you come down this lap. Looks like just about everybody except Zampa, Fensler, and Derek Riley are going to be the ones who do it. And I want to watch these guys, see if they take tires or not. Right side's for sure going on to the 68. Let's watch the race off pit road. Yeah, Jason Bottoms, Robert Clifford, looks like they didn't take tires. A couple more guys coming out. I don't know why Durheim has been so terrible on these pit stops. I don't know if he's got damage or what, but just another one where he loses quite a few spots. So things are all jumbled up here. We will give you the official lineup when everybody crosses the start-finish line, but looks like 4 cars stayed out. Zampa, Fensler, Riley, and Heights. And everybody else behind them came down pit road. And I think right there you do have to come down. Now, I don't know the tire situations for every driver. We should get 5 extra sets. But I don't know who has used what sets and whatnot. Just not something that I have the information on. So Heights came down on lap 79. He's just going to stay out and he's going to try to make this thing last, I think. Just go all the way to the finish. And I don't hate that strategy, but Zampa, Fensler, and Riley, they all put it on lap 73. I don't think there's any shot they make it to the end on fuel. Now, Fensler, in race 2 at Road America, he did use some fuel saving to pick up a win. So, we'll see if he can do that again this week. He's been the dominant car all night. Won stage 2. Was 3rd in stage 1. And I believe he's certainly led the most laps, so we'll see. Tyler Merritt still 2 laps down. Evan Logue, Dennis Steele 1 lap down, so it's going to be tough for Merritt to get his laps back, but we'll see if he's able to do it. So yeah, it'll be Zampa, Fensler, Riley, Heights, your top 4, the drivers who stayed out. Then Nick Gardner, he's the first guy to come out of pit lane. They're all kind of jostling for position there. I don't know why. So it'll be Bottoms, the first one that came down pit road. And then Clifford, Gardner, and then Will Young is the first guy on new tires. So I think Will Young, Scott Milner, Dylan Walterman, those are all guys to take a look at. And I want to check on our Dash for Cash as well. Scott Milner leading it. He's back there in 9th. And then it's Kurt Cairns in 12th. David Chapman in 13th. And then Jake Williams. He was an unfortunate victim early in the race. He is 85 laps down in 30th. So it'll be Zampa and Fensler. We'll see if Fensler can get a good jump on the outside this time. He's been on the inside for just about every one of these restarts, so see what he can do from second. Pace car will make the left-hand turn, and we are ready to go green again. And it's a great jump for Zampa. Fensler talked last week. He had an early penalty on the first restart of the race. Restart violation. Put him 2 laps down and just set him on the back foot for the entire race. So I think at this point he's just trying to make sure he doesn't overstep on this restart. Battle back here. It's Will Young all over Christopher Heights. Jason Bottoms makes a big move. Goes to the inside of Clifford and Heights. And he's up to 4th. Watch out for that 5 car. Will Young trying to make some moves as well. Now, Jason Bottoms certainly could have taken 2 tires. And I think that is the case. Moved him all the way up to 4th. And now Will Young trying to work on Robert Clifford. Young to the inside. Clifford going to go just in front of him. Jason Fensler just set the fastest lap of the race. Up in second position. Let's take a look at that battle. Can Zampa hold him off? I think both these guys are going to have to come for fuel at some point. But, as of right now, they're just racing. Trying to get the lead of this race. Derek Riley, Jason Bottoms just both set their fastest laps of the race. They are 3rd and 4th. The pace is definitely picking up the later we go on. And Fensler is all over the back of Dylan Zampa. Fensler making his return to the series this season. Zampa, a rookie, in his first ever race. Both of them now trying to take a win at Chicagoland. And Derek Riley ran his fastest lap again. He may not be catching them quickly, but he is just a little bit back there in 3rd. Great racing so far between these two, though. Fensler gets to the inside. They're side by side. Zampa high, Fensler low. Zampa maybe trying to pinch him just a little bit, run in the middle. They stay equal off the corner. Zampa edges ahead a little bit. Fensler slides up. Had to kind of chop off his exit there. That's going to give Zampa the run he needs on corner exit. They stay side by side. Does Zampa have enough to hold off the hard-charging Jason Fensler? Looks like he does for now. This is great racing so far between these two. Fensler clears him now. Will Zampa have a run on exit? Doesn't look like it. Jason Fensler, your new leader. Just ahead of Dylan Zampa. 27 laps to go. It's a battle a little bit further back. There was. Like Chase Durham and Robert Clifford were together, but now it's Clifford and Will Young. This is for 5th. Will Young trying to get consecutive top 5s early on in this season. But I mean, this has been a fantastic race so far, I think. There are so many good drivers in this league. I mentioned it before, that I think at any point, any of these guys inside the top 10 can win a race. And I believe that wholeheartedly. I couldn't say that in previous years, but and we are at such a good point in URL history here. Will Young to the inside of Jason Bottoms. This battle still going on. Young, we believe, is on 4 tires. We think Bottoms is on 2, so maybe those 2 tires coming back to hurt Jason Bottoms a little bit here. I don't know if Chase Durheim was kind of planning for the long run here or what, but he has been the fastest car on the track the last 2 laps. So he's now trying to get by Jason Bottoms. Young up there trying to pick off another driver. It's Derek Riley. And we'll see if these newer tires, see if they come into play for Young and Durheim. They're the 2 on fresher tires, so we'll see what we got. Durheim back there to the inside of Jason Bottoms. He'll get that move done. Some late strategy. Throwing a little bit of a change-up into this race. Will Young is chasing down Dylan Zampa and Jason Fensler. Does he have enough time? And will he not burn off his tires? Maybe more importantly. He does have the tire advantage now, but he can't overdrive it and lose it once we get to about 10 laps to go. We also think those guys are going to have to come down and pit. So Will Young maybe is in the effective lead of this race. Robert Clifford, Derek Riley, Chase Durheim. This is all a pretty big battle for 4th and maybe 2nd on track. Chase is the one who told me the fuel. He said it was 35 laps, so you get to the end, it'll be well over 35 for both Fensler and Zampa. But it'll be right about on it. About 36 laps for Young, Clifford, and Durheim running 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Young still closing in at about a 10th a lap on the leaders. Durheim and Clifford running pretty similar laps to Will Young. Durheim going to try to pin it to the bottom of the racetrack there. Now we'll look to the inside of Clifford. Looks like he's just barely there. And he is. They will go side by side into turn 1. See if Clifford can hold him off. He will through turns 1 and 2. And Chase will look to reel him back in. So Fensler and Zampa up there, they are both praying for a caution. They need that, and they need everybody to come down pit road with them if they have any shot of being in contention at the end of this race, because as it stands right now, it doesn't look like they're going to have that shot. Young is kind of sputtered there in 3rd. Steady at about a 1-second gap right now. He was just slightly faster than Jason Fensler last lap, but that will not be enough. I'll check the lap times at the line this time, and it is Jason Fensler, actually. Fastest out of the front 3, but Robert Clifford had him beat by 1,000th of a second. So it looks like all these tires are starting to equal out at this point, and I think that's a little earlier than I expected. Definitely did expect it at some point, but it looks like kind of the top 5 cars have broke away from the pack. Behind Chase Durham, it's Derek Riley. He was 0.3 off last lap and is falling deeper each lap we go. Robert Clifford trying to rip the top this time. We'll see if that works out for him. It looked fast, I won't lie. That is a thing too. When do you go to the top? Because the top, it might be faster, but it should wear out your tires a little more as well. So find the balance between speed and tire degradation. Let's move up a couple positions to Will Young and Dylan Zampa in the battle for second. Young is kind of all over Zampa, but just doesn't have a way to get around him right now. Let's go on board. Actually, we'll go off the nose of him. Derek Riley came down pit road this lap. Remember, he's on the same strategy that both Jason Fensler and Dylan Zampa were on, so they've got to be running close to the end on fuel. And Young just can't get any clean air to the nose of that 68 machine. Let's go back on board Chase Durham. They're side by side. This could be the battle for second here if no caution comes out. Chase gets right up next to Robert Clifford there, but isn't able to do anything. Here goes Will Young to the inside of Dylan Zampa. It's like he's got him clear, and he's going to be able to run away a little bit. I think if you were Chase or Robert back there, you needed that battle to go on a little longer. You needed Zampa to hold him up. But right now, Will Young could be cruising away to a victory. Back to the battle for fourth on track right now. Should be second. Once the driver of the 1 and the driver of the 15 come down pit road. Unless, I mean, maybe they have some sort of cheated up fuel tank, but I'm not sure they do. I mean, they'd have to go 47 laps. Sorry, I went silent there. I had to whip out the calculator. But yeah, 47 laps on a tank of fuel, and I just don't think that's possible. Now, we have had a few caution laps, but I don't know, man. Coming to 10 laps to go this time by. It's all Jason Fensler. But what does he have in that fuel tank? I did mention earlier, I mean, he's won a fuel-saving race earlier this year. It's not out of the realm of possibilities for the 15. It just doesn't seem like there's any fuel saving going on for him. So that leads me to believe either I got faulty information from Chase. These cars can go well over 35 laps. Or he's just going to run it till he runs out. Let's go back, check in again on this battle for fourth. It's kind of turned into the battle for third with Zampa falling behind. But it looks like Clifford is catching Will Young ever so slightly. So, in the battle for what I think is the lead, Clifford gaining, Durham gaining, Young falling back just a little bit. And we'll see if Durham kind of works together with Robert Clifford here. Doesn't really try to pass him, just follows him up to Will Young. and see if that is maybe part of their strategy. Because right now they're having a tough time getting by Dylan Zampa. Exactly what Will Young needs, but we're coming to 7 laps to go, and we have still not seen anybody come down pit road. With Derek Riley coming down, I thought for sure we'd see Zampa and Fensler pretty soon after, but doesn't look like that's the case. Here goes Clifford to the inside of Zampa. He needs this position quick. Can he get it? Here goes Jason Fensler down pit road now. And he will surrender the race lead, so that all but tells me Will Young is the... Well, I mean, he obviously is the leader of this race. But look at the battle for second. Clifford moving up. Chase Sturheim going to try to make it 3 wide on the outside. He gets blocked by Zampa. I mean, Zampa's got to pit at some point here. And it is this lap. I don't know. That seemed aggressive from the driver of the one, but, I mean, you do want to take every position you can get. Here goes Chase Sturheim. He's up to second, but he's got 5 laps and a second gap to the race leader, Will Young. Fensler comes back out on track. He's 1 lap down right now, I believe. So if he can go drive by Will Young, that would be pretty big for him, actually. Sturheim into the wall in second. And he is pushing that car about as much as it's got, but doesn't seem like it's got enough right now. Here comes Clifford to the inside for second. Just doesn't have enough, but both of these guys losing ground to our race leader, Will Young, in the Wild Bills machine. So 3 to go for race leader Will Young. That 15 car is 1 lap down, not a threat to Will. But the battle is still going on for second, it looks like. Fensler going to go to the inside, try to get his lap back in case a caution does come out. If one does come out, it will change everything. So he's got the lead back. Evan Logue looking to do the same thing. This might hold up Will Young just a little bit, but we got 2 laps to go. It is all Will Young right now. Got a 1.2 second gap on second place Chase Sturheim. Sturheim falling even farther back there. 1.5 seconds now the gap. Couple guys maybe getting into the wall a little bit there. But we are on the white flag this time by It's All Will Young out in the lead. We're in the Wild Bills throwback scheme tonight. Had issues last year in the playoffs. Didn't make the championship for, but was one of the best drivers all season. And he's looking to start off early with some momentum. Will Young is going to come across the line and win the Chicagoland throwback race presented by Wild Bills Soda and Justin Stannard. So, congratulations, Will Young. Ran the right strategy at the end there. Took the tires while a couple other guys decided against it. And it's going to make him a race winner. I mean, unfortunately for Jason Fensler there, he just didn't have the caution that he needed, as well as Dylan Zampa. Little tap from Jason Bottoms there. Those guys just, they didn't get the caution they needed. Ended up costing him, had to come down pit road, and it's going to be a 16th place finish on Dylan Zampa's debut. Fensler able to salvage a 12th is pretty impressive, considering he had to come down pit road at the end there. Jason Bottoms, another guy, came down pit road at the end, I believe. Derek Riley. Those guys just didn't have the strategy go their way, but Will Young, your race leader. Let's go through the entire finishing order here. Will Young, race winner, of course. Jay Sturheim, second. Robert Clifford, third. Dylan Walterman, fourth. Nick Gardner, fifth. Kurt Cairns, sixth. And your Dash for Cash winner, Marshall Wilson, seventh. Scott Milner, eighth. Dylan Chapman Jr., ninth. And Scott Kerberg rounds out your top 10. Good top 10 for Scott there. Dakota Blythe just missed it in 11th. Two good drives from some of the more consistent guys in our series. But let's go bring in Robert Clifford, your third place finisher. Hey, Robert, you got me?
Yes, sir.
Third place on the night. You came down pit road there at the end. What was kind of your thinking behind that when you saw the leader stay out?
Just fuel. I didn't even take tires. I wish I would have, because I would have probably been able to close that distance there. But just fuel, just to get me to the end.
Yeah, and it turned out to be the right call. You said you wanted tires. Was there any tire saving early on in that run, or was it just 35 laps to go? Let's go all out.
I just ran it as hard as I could without cautiously pushing hard, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You saw me lose it earlier in the race.
Yeah.
And that was cold tires and just on the gas real hard. And I stayed in the gas to take it to the infield and not get collected up and wreck a bunch of people. So.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that early spin. I mean, there's 30 cars in this race. How do you go make a spin like that and then get back up there and finish third?
Yeah, push, really just be aggressive. I'm fortunate enough to be high enough in iRating. We actually race with real NASCAR drivers like SVG and some other people.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I've learned from them is they are super aggressive. They have no problem kind of putting you in situations where you got to check up. But not being, overly aggressive where it's going to wreck everybody. But they'll just look for opportunities to be aggressive. And that's what I was trying to practice to get back up to third.
Yeah, I mean, definitely great race for you. Third place there on the night. And, yeah, congrats, Robert, and we'll see you next week, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Wild Bills, for the league.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Robert Clifford, your third place finisher. Let's go grab Chase Sturheim. Hey, Chase, you got me?
Yep, I got you.
Second place. What more did you need there to go chase down Will?
I just needed Will to straight up run out of gas or talent, and he did neither. So congrats to him. It stings to lose, but I really like Will, so losing to him, that ain't so bad.
Yeah, I mean, you and Robert battled it out for, it looked like the last 25 laps there. Was there any part of you that was like, maybe work together with Robert, get up there, and then fight it out with you three, or you just try to get second there?
To be honest with you, the lap car that Will was racing with, I thought was on the lead lap. I was so focused on my fuel, I wasn't even paying attention. So I thought I was third. We were battling for third there. So I kind of thought, well, let's let those two race each other, and we got to kind of race each other back here, because if one of those two run out, you got to be the one ahead of the other. And I think we were both just out of tires and out of gas there at the end. So I think we just both wanted to be in that position in case something happened.
Yeah. One thing I noticed is you had a couple pretty bad pit stops. What happened there?
Well, you see, after my car dropped off the jack, after changing 4 tires, it would sit there for 3 to 4 seconds and just say pit service time. I didn't have damage. I shouldn't have been still putting gas in unless my fuel man is like really unathletic and kept falling down. I had to wait on him. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Oh, okay. I was hoping I would get something there, but yeah, you just dropped off a couple times and I was a little confused.
I'm like flooring it. I'm in first gear. I have it floored. We dropped the jack and it's just holding me there, and I'm going crazy. Seems like the longest 3 to 4 seconds of my life.
Yeah, yeah, it cost you a few positions that you might have needed at the end there, I think. But
it did. We really got through traffic there at the restart, and honestly, his tires didn't fall off like I thought maybe they would, and just congrats to him. Good run by him.
Yeah, second place for you, not too bad, and obviously Will Young, you're a big fan of him, so not too bad on the night.
Yeah, no, I can't complain, and I just think the overall talent of this league is a lot more than when I was regularly racing 2 years ago. Not even just the new guys, but the old regulars sure have a lot more speed now, so I feel like I'm behind the 8 ball a little bit, but I'll get used to these cars maybe and get some wins.
Yeah, But good run tonight, and I guess we never know with you, but we'll maybe see you next week.
Yeah, starting harvest, so we'll see. We'll see.
Well, see you, Chase. Good run.
Yeah, thanks.
That was Chase Durheim, second place, and let's go grab race winner Will Young. Hey, Will, you got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, I talked to you as the second place finisher last week, and you were pretty happy with that, but I feel like you got to be over the moon with this one.
Dude, this is incredible. I'm so happy to get this Wild Bill soda car into victory lane. It is just incredible.
And, I mean, how did you do it? You took tires on that pit stop, right? And then how'd you do it from there?
Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of all about that strategy, and I was saving tires that whole time on the bottom, and I don't even know how I got through everyone. I was so surprised when I noticed it was just Jason and Dylan in front of me. I was like so surprised, but I really just want to thank all the guys in my on my team that were helping me through that race, because I would not have taken fuel there. I probably would not have noticed that we would have made it on fuel on that caution. So really, this whole win was thanks to them.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 wins in a row for your team, right?
Yep.
So that's 2 in a row. I mean, maybe you can make it 3 in a row next week, but, I mean, yeah, you guys got a great team over there. A lot of good guys.
Yeah, it's a pretty incredible team. It's a great atmosphere to be in.
So you got the win this week. A lot earlier, you got the monkey off your back. Last week, it seemed like every race, you were up front and then something would go wrong. Does it make it any easier as we get through the season that you got the win early on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously still going to be looking for as many wins as I can get, but yeah, I'm happy to just know I could win. I mean, you know, with these really fast guys like Tyler and Jason, and now Dylan's also incredibly fast. I'm just really happy to be able to take this one home.
Yeah, I mean, second last week, first this week. You can't improve next week, but see if you can go back to back, man. Good week or good win this week, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you. Thank you.
That was Will Young, your race winner, and I mean, what a race we had tonight. It was fun from start to finish. Had a little bit of strategy in there as well. I do want to give a shout out to Dylan Zampa, Tyler Merritt, and Jason Fenter. They were all very fast cars. Just had something go wrong in each one of their little ways, and ended up Will Young, another very fast car tonight, was your race winner. So thank you guys all for watching, and I want to give a great shout out to all of our sponsors here at Underdog Racing League. Wild Bill Soda, of course, presenting sponsor of the night, and Justin Stennard stepping up, being not only the sponsor of this race, but race control as well at his home race. I know it's not easy to step out of the car, but we needed somebody to do it, and he stepped in. So thank you to Justin. Ultimate Siding and Gutters, National Coatings and Supplies, Single Source, R4 Environmental, Java Jacks, Washington's on the Fence, Martin Sports, and Custom Ink. This was your Martin Sports post-race show. We will see you next week at, I believe, Indianapolis. Let me check for sure. Yes, Indianapolis, Texas, Pocono, and Atlanta, the next 3 races. So, the next 4 races. But thank you guys for being with me tonight.